Hi, I'm Max Aurnhammer. I was one of the VFX artists on the now infamous Spider-Man Lotus. If you're watching this video, you're probably already aware of the situation. Maybe you've even seen one of the countless video essays documenting the downfall of the film. But as a quick refresher, about 2 months ago, DMs were leaked on Twitter showing the director and star of the film saying some pretty terrible stuff. While some of the DMs were fake, a lot of them were very real. And they were super shocking and disappointing to see for all of us on the VFX team, as I'm sure it was for all of you guys. The film's reputation was ruined, and it no longer aligned with what Spider-Man represents as a character. This ultimately led to each member of the VFX team deciding to step away from the project, which was super sad because it also meant stepping away from all the incredibly cool stuff we got to work on while a part of it. Work that I genuinely believe may be some of the best we've ever done. Work that now may have been for nothing. Because of this, I wanted to make this video and push aside the drama for just a bit and really shine a spotlight on all the incredibly hardworking and passionate and dedicated individuals on this VFX team who made some really amazing stuff happen. Stuff that now we want to share with all of you guys. So I hope you enjoy.
Hey, I'm Nero. I worked on Spider-Man Lotus alongside Justice Sketches, which of course is his legal name.
I'm Justice Sketches. I was another modeler on the Lotus team, and today I'm going to be talking about the Lotus model.
One of the first things I did when I came onto the project was retopologize Spider-Man. If you don't know what retopology is, basically it's taking a model and reducing the amount of data while still keeping its shape and form. For all you nerds out there, this process led to us going from 3 million vertices to 400,012,743.
I started by finishing up Nero's retopology job, smoothing things out and making it look a bit more presentable. After that, I added the seams. Seam lines are important because it gives the suit some definition, and obviously the real Lotus suit has seam lines because it's an actual, sewn together costume.
After retopologizing the model, I textured it, adding all the thumbprints, scratches, and all other details onto the model in general.
And then from there, it was only a matter of finishing up the webs. Hugo 9P1 did the wrinkles of the costume, which also really adds to the realism. Something the MCU films don't really utilize is wrinkles, but they are quite important.
After Justice Yuga and I had finished our work on the model, I rigged it, basically giving it a skeleton that we could use to start animating the model.
Hey guys, we are the animators on Spider-Man Lotus. So what we would do is when the director would give us a shot, one of us would call dibs, and then the person who was going to do the shot would do it, finish it, and then send it off to the other guy. The other guy would add his little additions in, and then it would keep going back and forth just depending on how much changes were made, and then we'd send it off to Max so he could do the rest.
This shot, you've probably seen it countless times all over the internet because of so many leaks.
Are you shitting me?
And it took months and months of work. So I did this whole shot. I animated the whole shot, but something was wrong with it. Not a big deal. I didn't get that far into it. I'll do it again. I reanimated it again. Something was still wrong with it. So I had to reanimate it a third time. And then the third time I reanimated, there was again something wrong with it. And Aadith, do you want to guess what I had to do after that?
Actually, I'm kind of lost on that one. You might have to tell me what you did.
I'll help you out. I had to do it for a fourth time. I was finally happy with this shot. Except that I wasn't, and I ended up doing it 3 more times after that. After so much pain, and so much hard work, and blood, sweat, and tears, and all sorts of other bodily fluids, Aadith finally arrived on the scene. My knight in shining armor. My beautiful knight in shining armor, and he came in, he picked up the shot, he polished off the last little bit of it, and just made it, mwah, chef's kiss.
I hated a specific shot on this. It is one of my proudest shots in the movie, the fire escape shot. Let me tell you something about Blender, folks. If you're a beginner in Blender, the camera ain't your friend. The camera wants to kill you. It took me a week to fix this camera, and I do not think it's 100% even today. On a positive note though, this shot was very fun to work on. I had a lot of fun with the animation. It was purely concept art that I brought to life, but for the rest of my life I will hold a grudge against that disgusting camera that Blender has.
So regardless of what's happened with the movie, there was a lot of hard work, a lot of time, a lot of effort that went into this film over the past year. There's a lot of shots that we finished, but there's also a lot of shots and ideas that we never got to finish or never even got to use.
I really hope you guys got a little bit of an understanding of what it is that we did. When the shot rolls around, I hope you guys enjoy it.
On to you, Max, with this amazing high quality transition.
Wow, Hunter, that transition was fucking terrible. It was my responsibility on the film to make those beautiful animations look even better. My plan of attack? Attempting to faithfully recreate the greatest city in the world. Wow, Max, how are you gonna do that? I'm so glad you asked, because the answer is incredibly simple, with this little thing called reference. I traveled all around the city gathering photos and videos that I could use to recreate real New York locations. And when my reference wasn't enough, I used Google Street View to virtually return to any location I needed. All of this data allowed me to get far more accurate and better results when creating my digital sets. For some shots, I was able to project this material onto simple geometry, and for others, I used it as a guide to create the sets almost entirely from scratch. After that, I did about 100,000 other things to make the shots actually look good. Here's the final product. Before we leave you guys, we just wanted to clarify some of the misconceptions that have been going around regarding our treatment from the director during our involvement of the film.
We really do appreciate all the messages we've been getting. Really nice. However, there is a lot of information out there that is just simply untrue or it's been exaggerated. So that's why we want to just clear the air a little bit.
Prior to this team coming together, there was a former VFX team on the project. One of the members of this VFX team, who hadn't been working on the film for several months, made a Twitter thread talking about their experiences on the film. That Twitter thread is kind of unintentionally responsible for a lot of the misconceptions going on about the VFX work on this project.
Some of us who are on this new, more recent VFX team weren't on the old one, so we can't speak for everything that happened there. But what we can say is that a lot of the experiences that we shared on this team were not the same as the one on the old one.
On the other hand, Max and I were a part of that original team, and what I experienced was completely different from what was talked about in that thread. So something that was hammered home was the time crunch, and I know he did clarify after he made that tweet. A lot of that was not Gavin's fault. Gavin gave ample time for them to complete their work, and even offered to push back the initial release date of the trailer so that they could finish what needed to be done. They kept reassuring him that it would be done and be done in time. On the day of the release, we still weren't done yet. Gavin had to go live and temper down fans because we were still rendering the video. And once we had the render finished, he just threw it into After Effects or Premiere and posted the trailer to everyone. So yes, there was a crunch, but was it really Gavin's fault entirely? No.
As for my involvement with that previous VFX team, the only unprofessionalism I experienced the entire time was from that VFX team themselves.
Now to speak about the treatment for this current VFX team, I think I can speak for about everybody on this team where I think we were all very well treated from day one to the final day. I remember getting so many texts just with love and support and high praise all the time. And if we had ever seen anything even kind of reminiscent to the behavior that you see in those leaked DMs, we would have left the project immediately. It is as simple as that.
At no point on the project did I feel stressed out due to a lack of time, because you always reassured that at the end of the day, Spider-Man Lotus is a fan film and that we shouldn't stress out about it.
So on a final note, I just wanted to say that I think I speak for all of us. This is definitely one of the best collaborations that we've all ever been a part of. I just wanted to thank you guys for sitting here and watching all the shots that we did. It really means a lot, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you guys all for sticking around and watching. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sayonara.